Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath. My name's Kenan, the producer of the show. Tonight, the title is Abundance Consciousness. And, well, Christopher has some helpful things to share on that topic, but before I turn it over to him for the evening's readings, just a quick thought, which is for anyone and everyone out there joining us, be sure to say something in the chat, whichever platform you're on, YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. Say something so I know you're here. And don't be shy, because the first time there's no charge for readings, and going forward after that, it's just $10 per time, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month, which I highly recommend since we run 3 shows per week, normally Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. Now, thanks for listening to me. Enjoy the show. Here's Christopher.
Great Sunday evening, everybody. Great blessings to you. Every show I start the incense and send out a blessing, a prayer if you want to call that. But this has to do with really abundance consciousness, sending out health, wealth, security, grounding, solidity, and stability. And that's what we want to focus on tonight with the show, starting a new month, September 1st. Thank you all very much. Kat, Jared, I really appreciate you. Lana, Marilyn Pitts, thank you for your contribution already this month. Love you all very much. But this is that prosperity consciousness that's coming in, especially with the September 1st and here in Phoenix. It's just a feel of relief from the heat, and I'm sure where some of you are, if you live near in the South states, it's a relief to get a little bit of coolness coming in. And that's really about the group card tonight. Let's pull that up, Kenan, if we can. Yeah, it's the Earth card. And this is the grounded card. It's a very unique, really unique situation, because none of us are from here, but we live on this earth that was really created by energy, by spirit. Some say God, some say source. It's not the terminology, it's the energy or the thoughts behind it. And that we have this privilege, we absolutely have this privilege of being able to live on this earth. Now, how do you do this abundance consciousness? What even is that? Like, what is consciousness? Well, the subconscious. Think about this. How many times today did you blink? How many times did your heart beat today? How many times did you breathe in and breathe out? That's all part of this part of the brain, the back of your head, the occipital lobe. It's called the fight or flight area of the brain, and it controls all of these things that we don't even think about. But also back there are these subconscious beliefs, habits, feelings, thoughts. And so think about, I know you're all watching either on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, but there are hundreds of other channels out there. You know, when we were growing up, I know Lana, maybe Jeff, I'm not going to talk about age on the show, but if we wanted to get up and if we wanted to change the channel on the TV, we had to get up and move it, right? We had to manually get up and change the channel. Now we have remote, but there are hundreds of channels streaming all at one time. On this earth, there are billions of people on billions of channels. So if you think about changing your consciousness around abundance, all of these channels are occurring simultaneously. So it's being mindful, first of all, what channel you're on. Are you on a poverty consciousness? Or are you on an abundance consciousness? Lana and I've talked about this, about, my aunt, her mother, started in it had to be in the 40s, right, Lana? The 1940s, in real estate in Idaho. She was the first woman in Idaho to do real estate. And she was mocked or made fun of. People talked behind her back, but she did it. And now Lana has been in real estate, I don't know, for over 60 years. But it took this strict consciousness. It was paying attention of your habits, your feelings, your thoughts, and your words. And it's literally retraining the brain. So one of the things that I tell people when you're wanting to create a new habit is this. This is a very simple exercise. When the neuroscientist was on the show a couple of months ago, he talked about, these are called cross crawls. You can do it this way. You can touch the opposite legs and do this. It helps to build new neural pathways, which are really important. Work on your self-image. I know some of you, sometimes in the reading, I've talked about you actually going out and buying new clothes. Going to buy clothes that you feel really good in, that are up to date, that fit you really well, and that you feel really good in. It's about changing your self-image and taking pictures of yourself. And when you look at the pictures, bless what you love about the picture rather than what you don't like about the picture. These are simple things that create this abundance consciousness that help you change the channel. Now, some people can change the channel pretty quickly with the remote. Some people have to actually get up, go to the TV, and change it. This is, if you're wanting to really create an abundance or whatever it is that you're wanting to create, career, love, relationship, it's changing this and controlling the emotional and mental state. And you're becoming aware of it. So I'm going to do a shout out a little bit to just, and I know every one of you have made huge headway in this, especially Jack. Your birthday is tomorrow. Jack's on the show, Jack London. Thanks for sharing that. Happy birthday, Jack. If you're on the show tomorrow, we may not all verbally sing you happy birthday, but we'll send you happy birthday greetings. Jack was the one that actually got us started on the show almost 3 years ago. So going back to what I was saying about this abundance consciousness, it's sending out the energy around this abundance consciousness, but it's important for all of you to do the work and to be conscious of it, but to watch your thoughts around it. But a shout out to Marilyn and even Lindsay. Like, since you're the first two on the show, that's what I'm looking at with the list here tonight so far, is how Marilyn had a private reading this weekend, and how her thinking has changed and how much more calm she is, where she's not letting things upset her like they used to. It takes practice. She does a meditation practice. Lindsay too, your comments in this show have been really fun and uplifting and interesting. So sometimes it's not easy to see your own progress. So that's why I wanted to give at least you two a shout out. But everybody that's been on the show for a while, great kudos to you. All right, how we do this, I'm glad, thank you for all saying hello, because here's the order. The order that you usually come in the show, Kenan takes care of that as the producer. Uh, we do a reading for you, and even though I'm doing a reading for in each of you individually, many times it's going to apply also to you in some odd way, okay? Because we're really kind of all on the same channel here. So that's a good way of looking at it. So I've got Marilyn first, Lindsay, Jeff, Amanda. Hey, Amanda, we get to see you this coming weekend. Kat, Jared, Laura, Lana, JC, welcome. Liz, Sherry Lynn, Dr. Tiffany's here, and Jack. If you're just watching, be sure to say hello in the show or some hi, otherwise we won't know that you're here. Okay? So, I'm looking around because we've got like, I've got like 12 decks here. I'm going to start out with this one. And what we do, I just shuffle through the deck, and whatever card falls out. What a great way to start the show. Marilyn, it's the love card. Not only are you doing what it is that you love that's important, but loving what you do, loving who you are. You know, I'm going to share this with the group tonight. I hope you don't mind, Marilyn. Your text today, and we talked about your, like the benefit of doing this meditative work, doing this work on yourself, paying attention to your thoughts, and putting these things that we've talked about for the past year into practice. You said this as we talked yesterday. I stayed up in Larry's office where it was quiet, and I decided to continue focusing on my concentration and what I could visualize. I've only visualized colors and changing of colors in the past. So after we talked, I sat there quietly, focusing again, and I asked Spirit the same question I always ask. In my mind, I asked if you can show me who my spirit guide is, or one of them. I said I always ask, and I'm wanting you to actually show me this time because I feel I'm ready. I continued to focus, and suddenly the colors I saw started changing and flowing back and forth like it was coming into focus, and I saw for the first time an actual vivid picture that was so detailed I'd never seen before. I asked to see my guide, and I saw the most detailed close-up view of an eye. The eye was so detailed, I saw only the eye and the color and skin and the wrinkles around it. The eye took up my whole view, but the lighting of the visual was off to the side as if it was looking towards stars or a campfire. It was hard to describe, but as if the faint glow of illumination was coming from the side. The eye was not blinking, it did not look at me directly, but it was slightly looking a few degrees to the right. It was the left eye, and it was slightly golden hazel color, and it was difficult to tell because the skin tone around it looked like a very, very ancient person with a glow like golden tan skin. So she's talking about it being maybe Egyptian or Native American. It was that type of thing. So next time, Marilyn, maybe just suggest that it back away from the camera a little bit so you get to see the whole face. But I find so much joy in that. Like that is a perfect example of why we're doing the work that we're doing, why you're spending an hour, 2 hours of your time, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday nights. This is working on you. This is the energy that Ken and I send through this show to you to help you make this progress. That's the whole point of it. Okay. No, Marilyn, you were not rambling in your text. It was a great text. So this is the love card for you, Marilyn. And it's absolutely spirit coming through it's this vibration of love, and it's divine vibration. It is not, there are people that were raised that got hit or slapped every day, and their parents said, well, I'm only hitting and slapping you because I love you, and that's where they learn that love is. But that's a very low vibration. This is moving out of that into this higher frequency. It's changing the channel around what actual love is. And it's celebrating like anniversaries. It's celebrating goals.
She doesn't know if the I was a guide or a concept of spirit.
Yeah, so just accept it for what it is. It was definitely a guide and also a concept of spirit. It doesn't have to be either or. It can be both. And like Lana and I have talked, even Jeff and I have talked, Jack and I have talked about this. Kat and Jared, we've talked about this, where these extraordinary out-of-body, abnormal things occur that are just simply divine. But it's raising your vibration to these channels that are all happening at the same time. You decide what channel you're going to be on. Okay. All right, my dear Lindsay. So we got love card. This is the fortune card, Lindsay. So great to help everybody switch to the love channel, Marilyn. Lindsay, great everybody to help yourself switch to the fortune channel. So what is fortune for you? Rather than when you're looking at pictures or photos or social media, Lindsay, with yachts and private jets and endless vacations, cruises, notice how you feel about when you're looking at that. And are you willing to, if that appeals to you, then stay on that channel. Be free of flipping around. Or in any way, shape, or form, is there any energy going toward, oh, that's impossible for me? Can you bring it back into, oh, this is possible for me? There's a reason this is coming into my field. There's a reason I'm seeing this. I read years ago, I took a vision board class. And the woman that was doing the vision board, the reason she was so adamant about the vision board is she had wanted her own boat. And so she went through like sailing magazines and she cut out this image of a sailing boat, and there was a man standing on the sailing boat. About 3 years later, she met a guy. He had a boat, and they ended up hitting it off really well. She went on his boat. It was the exact same boat. In fact, it was the same man that was on the boat, and they ended up getting married. And she had this on her vision board. This is why she was so passionate about bringing it into the channel, staying on the channel, not flipping around. If it's something you want, stay on the channel. And it's like watching a movie you've never seen and then flipping off it halfway through the movie. You don't do that. This is staying on the channel. What channel are you on? Yeah, I love it, Marilyn. I love that Abby Normal. It's one of my favorite movies. Speaking of movies, Young Frankenstein. Yeah. Okay. So you got that, Lindsay.
So it makes sense.
So this makes sense. I've seen people with fortunes, and those examples showed me some not so great things. I'm learning to change my beliefs around fortune and that it is good and used for good. Yes, absolutely. I spoke of this last week with my own experience, where back here I had created a cognitive dissonance, Lindsay, in my subconscious that only unenlightened people had money. Right? I've talked about this. It was one of those slap your head forehead moments where you go, oh my God, I could have had a VA. But it was a major switch for me. That enlightened people, the Rinpoche, for instance, that taught the Dalai Lama and that taught the Karmapa in Buddhism, he has like 14 temples. He had 14 temples. 4 of them were like all solid gold. He was always picked up in a limousine, but when he would walk out literally on his balcony, or there would be tens of thousands of people waiting for him to bless them. So you think about the earth is abundant. Let's get on the channel of abundance. Okay. All right, my dear Jeff. So Jeff, we've got, we're building on this tonight, everyone. Love, fortune, science. This is knowledge. But it's not just knowledge, Jeff. It's using the knowledge. I've worked as a university advisor for 20 years now. And one of the biggest mistakes students make is they think when they come into college, they should know everything. It's why they never finish or never even sometimes start, because they don't want to ask questions. This is, Jeff, people coming into your field to feed you knowledge. Different people, but understand that they can come into your field, or come into your life and be on a completely different channel that is not yours, but try to talk you into watching their movie. And it's like, oh, no, I don't watch horror movies. For me personally, I like, oh, no, but thank you, because I lived it. I actually lived a horror movie. And I know that stuff is like, there's some real stuff around it. So, but it's being free of taking what it is that they're saying and learning from it, but discarding the rest that no longer serves you or doesn't really serve you and your vision. I'm going to talk about this a little bit too. So I was listening to this woman who had lost her hearing. So she was like 80-90% deaf. And so that energy of sound translated, she was able to use it in a different way where she was actually hearing what people were saying or not saying. She could feel the dichotomy of what they were saying to try to be nice, but feel what they were actually feeling, and it was incongruent with what they were saying. So this is another gift. This is absolutely as powerful as love and fortune. So thank you, Jeff, for bringing this up. Is all of your abilities are growing in not taking just the word of a person, but feeling or looking at the energy behind it. It's a superpower. Wow, great show tonight, right? Wow. Okay, Amanda, here we go. Okay, Amanda. I almost called you Annie from the movie Annie, or the Broadway play Annie. This is the sun card. The sun will come up tomorrow. You bet your bottom dollar. But the sun is up now for you. And so when the sun is up, you're out enjoying it. You're out in the day, and you're not dreading the night, because you know that that's when you get to sleep, when things get quiet, you get to go home, eat dinner. It's free of judging, or free of the fear of the next shoe falling, or things not working out. So I want to share this amazing story with you. I won't mention who it is, because she's not on the show tonight, but we talked today. So about a month ago, her and her partner had an opportunity, and Jeff, you're going to love this story too. They had an opportunity to buy a building or lease a building to open up a store, like a spiritual center. We'll call it that. And I'm like, so on the show, she specifically asked about it, and I pulled the disappointment card, then I pulled the expansion card. I'm like, not right now. So she withdrew her offer. 2 weeks later, this is where the expansion card comes in. She was a little disappointed, but she kind of trusted Spirit. Well, she definitely trusted Spirit. 2 weeks later, the owner of the building also owned the building next door. And the building next door went under. They were behind, they went into default. And so the owner of the building offered this woman and her partner both buildings. And that was the expansion. So there was the disappointment, and then there was the expansion card. Now, I didn't remember pulling those exact cards, but she goes, Chris, those were the cards that you pulled, was the disappointment and the expansion. So this is for you, Amanda, is that you're on this the sun is one of the highest cards in the deck. So I love this, right? So I'm going to go back. We've got the love card, the fortune card, the knowledge card, and then we've got the sun card. And I'm going to, this is applying to everybody on the show. Okay? But for you, Amanda, this is understanding universe, shed light on this subject for me now. So when something seems a little bit uncertain or unclear or confusing or frustrating, it's like, hey Siri, turn on the flashlight. See that? It does it. Okay, Siri, turn off the flashlight.
It's off now.
Okay, it's off now. That's exactly what you do. Universe, show me now. It's like saying, universe, turn on the light. Show me this light and wait. Like this woman and her partner, they were a little disappointed. They said no. And then something else came that was even greater that they couldn't even imagine. That's what's happening with you, Amanda. All right, my dear Kat and Jared. And then this is Kat. This is the peace card. It's called the Truce card. So again, a very high-end, powerful message here as well. Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem from the same place as it was created, which is here. This is practicing meditation, Kat. Marilyn said to me, she goes, I didn't know how to meditate. I just started doing it. It's like driving a car. You don't start driving a car on Interstate 10. You go to a vacant parking lot. For me, I learned on country roads in Montana. You start somewhere, Kat. This is it's quieting the mind so you can access the subconscious. Because you and so Marilyn really wanted to see her guide. Well, she got to see the eye of the guide. It reminded me of one of those National Geographic shows where the guy wants to take a picture of the natives and they come right up to the camera. It's like, back away a little bit, or they have to back up so you can see the whole picture. This is you being able to see the whole picture. Your guides are all around you all the time, Kat. It's like having the TV and the stereo on, and then your kids say something to you, but you can't hear what they're saying. And so your mind is turned on really loud, and your guides are talking, and so you're just needing to turn the TV and the stereo down or off and get into this laying down your thoughts. The Truce card, the swords are very symbolic of thoughts, so it's about laying down your thinking, meditating. Okay. Jared. Oh my God. I love this reading tonight. It's really amazing. Success. Part of the fun, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but part of the fun of Halloween, Jared, is not only dressing up yourself, but also getting to see who the kids are going to dress up as, right? And the kids that come to the door and how much delight that brings. There are think about the universe coming to the door, and rather than you giving candy, the universe giving you candy. And be free of okay, so we're talking a little bit about evolution, right? Our ancestors were programmed to, when they stepped out of the cave, be really careful because they could be stepped on by a Tyrannosaurus Rex or eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. Our minds can automatically go toward fear. So we hear one negative comment, or we hear or feel one negative person, or something does something negative toward us. It can obliterate the good. It can be very adamant in front of us. This is moving that energy away. Okay, so we're going to go back and watch TV. And you're watching this show and you're really into it, and the kids they come and stand in front of the TV. You're like, get out of the way. You're blocking the TV. Everybody on the show, please keep this in mind. When somebody says something negative to you, or they have this, they have the pig pen. I call it the pig pen. In Charlie Brown, where the character Pigpen always had this dust cloud around him, or Eeyore. All of these stories and cartoons always have had this type of people. Is like Pooh and Tigger were never bothered by Eeyore. They're like, okay, it's just Eeyore. These are moving Eeyores aside. This is your success card, Jared. Absolute success coming for you and through you. And again, thank you, everyone. Thank Marilyn, Lindsay, Jeff, Amanda, Kat, Jared. I know these cards, this reading has been for you, but it's also everybody on the show. So thank you. All right, my dear Laura. So, Laura, this is the, wow, we're hitting all the boom tonight. It's the art. It is the creativity. It's what sets us apart. Okay. So you've had okay, I'll tell you, I'll acknowledge this, where people have been blocking your view, blocking your channel. They're now definitely moving out of the way. Kenan, when he was little, used to love Bob Ross. He would watch Bob Ross for right? Long time. Watch Bob Ross and the art. Um, this is you just regaining this incredible joy as that a child naturally has, and allowing that to permeate because you've done so much work and there's acknowledgement of the work of moving people away, of blocking your channel. And having this like when a child hands you a picture, you don't go, oh, you kind of went out of the line here a little bit. And does that, oh honey, that, you don't say to a 2-year-old, oh honey, that doesn't look like a real person. You just don't do that. So anywhere where that was done to you, are you willing to release, clear, destroy, and uncreate that, and just honor that artwork, that ability of yours, without any of the criticism? It's totally changing your channel. It's like when you look at all the is there a there's a frequency, there's a solfeggio frequency, Laura. um, you can look this up on YouTube, and then Marilyn Pitts has been doing this as well. For you, Laura, it's listening to these frequencies, and you're going to have one frequency that you'll really like attune to. You're like, oh my God, this frequency feels so good. It's solfeggio frequency. Kennan's going to type it in the chat for you, Laura. Solfeggio frequencies. And then rose quartz will really help you as well. If you get rose quartz, that has a certain frequency and vibration. I love the rose quartz lamps. You can get those. They're like this lamp behind me. Are these? Yeah, the little lamps behind me. Okay, all right, my dear Lanny. And then we've got JC, Liz Walborn, Sherry, Dr. Tiffany, Jack London, and Lisa Thomas. Thanks for being here. All right, my dear Lana. Rainbow. This is time-space, Lana. You don't complain that it takes 5 hours for a turkey to cook. And so you're an excellent cook. You've cooked thousands of meals for family and friends and get-togethers. You know the timing of things. And you know that when something of a spiritual nature happens, you may not understand it right then. it's like you may see this jet fly by at a really high speed, and then all of a sudden you hear the sonic boom. So the jet and the sound don't match up. What I'm saying here is you have kind of a, no, not kind of, you definitely have like a ability. The future, past, and present are all happening at one time. So you can see something occurring, let's say down the road, but it may take time for the sound of it or for the actual event to happen. Like that sonic boom. I hope I'm making sense. So our abilities, part of our abilities that we're becoming aware of that are really mysterious because it's part of this spiritual growth, are these gifts that we may not understand what it is that we're seeing, but it always catches up. It was like, Lana, those birds hitting your window a few months ago and going, what even is this? And then that understanding that you came to, where those 3 birds, after that whole thing was resolved with that family that died, those three birds were sitting on your windowsill after it had all resolved, and you knew birds are such a symbol of spirit. You know, you think about the Bible talking about Holy Spirit being in the symbol of a dove, right? It's your understanding growing. It's this swiftness growing. It's the thunderstorm knowing there's a rainbow. That type of a storm blowing over, but it not lasting. Okay? All right, my dear JC. So, JC, this is changing your channel. This is from the lower vibration to a higher vibration. The indolence card is moving out of the swamp and being free of getting caught into a cause. Do what's good for you and only you. Be free of the cause. Be free of the swamp. Because you can start getting too many mixed signals, too much mixed energy in, which can be really confusing and feel like you're sinking. This is coming back to you, getting good with you, always staying good with you. And a lot like Jared's card is not allowing the energy. This is putting up better Star Trek. I'm hearing shields up, putting up what? Huh? Yeah, that's what you were thinking? Yeah, shields up. It's like not letting what people are saying or doing bring you down. Getting back up on the horse. It's just getting back up on the horse and going, just move on, just move on. But do it for you, not what other people think you should do or blah, 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 blah. This is the courage coming through and draining the swamp. Okay, Liz, thanks for being here. Okay, Liz, so So this, Liz, is when this is getting out. This is getting out from the middle of the Crips and the Bloods, like two opposing gangs, or getting caught in the middle of like family or friends, or where people want you to take sides. It's completely staying out of it, because they're needing your energy in order to bolster their belief system. They're using you to validate their belief system. They need allies. So people that have very weak standing on their belief system need allies to join them to bolster their position. So you really have to watch what you say and be free of the need to reply back to these people. You absolutely don't have to say anything. It's again a little bit like JC about pulling your energy back to you. You cannot really create peace for others unless they want peace themselves. The only thing you can do is create peace for yourself. And a lot of that entails dropping off people that you thought were friends, even if they're family. It's not that you don't love them. It's just that you cannot be around them when they've eaten beans the day before. Kind of leave it at that. I think you know what I'm talking about. Oop. Okay. Okay, here we go. Sherry. So we've got Sherry, Dr. Tiffany, Jack, Lisa Thomas, Melissa? New person, thanks for being here. And Lisa, thanks for being here. Okay, and then Sherry. So, Sherry, the show tonight was around being grounded, but being grounded like in yourself, in who you are more. Was it for everybody? It wasn't just for you. But this is your self-image. Calling in people who love you for who you are, not how your hair is done. Or what color lipstick you're wearing. I know you know that. So again, we're going to go back to this channel about somebody standing in front of your TV that have criticized you for who you are or who you're not, or how you look or how you don't look, and moving them out of the way. And this is really working on your self-image. You've done work on it. But wait, there's more. It's like Ronco knives, right? How those old TV commercials. They're wanting to sell you a set of knives, but also they're going to throw in a free potato peeler. This is I know you've been working on this, but this is like talking about the free potato peeler that's coming along with it. This is a deeper love for yourself, because whether you're big or small or black or white or male or female, whatever it is, the energy behind this reading will help you move that. If it's not serving you for who you actually are, or anywhere where you've been loved in the past for what you've said or done or couldn't do or could do, or how you looked or how you didn't look, it's moving that out of your field. And I'm moving it for everybody on the show that's ever had this issue. Okay. Okay, Dr. Tiffany. Here we go. So Tiffany, this is the Knight of Wands. Number one, it's a position. See yourself on this horse with this you're causing your be free of the fear of fire. Okay, fire is an element that clears away. Undergrowth, stuff that slows people down, when they're going through the woods or the forest. I just see this, what you're doing, what you're creating. They're wanting you to see the bigger, longer picture of what it is that you're doing. Let me shut my phone off, I'm sorry. They're wanting you to really pay attention to more of, go ahead and create the fire, because it needs to be created to burn off what no longer serves you. But also it's I don't know if this is like your son-in-law or this gentleman being blessed with like moving up a better position, a higher position that is more open and free. It's like him getting back up on his horse. You know how they use that expression, you fall off a horse, you get back get right back up on the bicycle, you get right back up on the horse, and you go to town. This is, it's your energy is growing exponentially, and it's affecting in a positive way the people around you. They're inspired. It helps them be on fire, which is burning away old patterns, old belief systems. This is what you do. This is who you are. It's why you came to this planet, is to burn away what no longer serves people to their best and highest. Okay. All right, Jack. Okay. So, Jack, it, this is getting right to the heart of the matter. This is the sword through the heart. My teachers used to tell me either people get it now or they get it later. It's better if they can get it now, but if they don't, they'll get it later. And later meant not just sometimes in this lifetime, but lifetimes down the road. And so you have to, you don't have to, but there are situations and people, they absolutely don't want to get it, and metaphorically you have to leave them for dead, like, and move on. Because there's too much big happening right now, and these people use their wounds like trophies, and they want to show you and tell you all their wounds. No, homie, don't got time for that. Just don't got time for that. This is clearing that out and then moving on. And maybe they'll get it next time. Maybe they won't. It's just simply allowing them to get their own lessons and pull your energy back from anyone that is like that. Okay, Lisa, thanks for being here first time. So Lisa, this is a little bit like Jack's. It's like the Red Queen in Alice in Wonderland. It's like off with their heads. This is you rising above the clouds, so don't give up. You're moving forward, you're moving up. But she also has this severed head in her hand as she's ascending. It's a people come into our lives for a season or a reason, and the ones that come into our lives for a season, let them go. This is your ascension, and using your words very precisely as to what it is you want to create. She used her sword to cut through what no longer was serving her, and she's on this ascension. She's moving forward, she's moving up, and there any people that want to pull you back down with them, so that they feel more comfortable, that's going to be changing for you. Yeah, you're done with like the Cinderella stepsisters, where they ripped Cinderella's homemade dress apart because she thought she was going to the ball. This is Spirit stepping in and creating a whole new gown for you. But moving past those people, those stepsisters so-called, that want to pull you down to their level or below. They want to put you below them. That's not your spot, and you don't have to play that game anymore. Okay. Oh, Sherry, thank you so much for sharing that. I'll just read your comment. You do business consulting, marketing, so you're speaking my language. I just got a promotion at work, so I'm working on remaining in my new role, leading without limiting beliefs. Beautiful, thank you. Well, thank you. Thanks for being here. All right, Meliza, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for being here for the first time. So, Meliza, this is gain. Be free of judging how much gain is or isn't happening. Clear that out of your field. Focus on your growth and be free of criticizing. I should have been there. I could have done that. I should have blah, blah, blah. No, you've been directed, and it's been a gain for you in this lifetime. Are we willing, all of us, to look at everything we've done has been a gain rather than a loss? Are you free of focusing energy on loss of any kind? Financial, relationship. This is focus on your gain. Absolutely focus on your gain. It will be increase in relationship, in money, career, all of it, every aspect. Okay. And then you had Mary Hopkins' safety.
Yeah, she was asking about her safety specifically. That's all it was. Throughout my safety.
Okay, so Mary, you were asking about your safety. Okay. How about focusing on your happiness? What a great way to end the show tonight. We started out with love. We started out with wealth, of fortune, abundance. This is your happiness. Because remember, the mind is going to create what it is you're focusing on. If you're focusing on danger, the universe will respond to that and give you danger to validate. See, I'm right, danger. This is about focus rather on what makes you happy and bring that into you. Okay. All right. Love you all very much. We'll do this again tomorrow night. Next weekend, I'm going to let everybody know. Kenan and I will not have a show Sunday night or Monday night next week because we'll be in San Antonio doing a seminar there. So bless you all. Talk to you soon, and we'll see you tomorrow night.